Hey guys, and welcome to this week's YouTube episode of PTSD Growth. What I'd like to do on this episode is really talk about simple actions to work on your mindset daily. And as I did on the other episode and the future ones to come, we'll just do a quick review of the last two podcasts that I did this week. And then we'll go on from there and we'll learn very simple actions that you can do. We're all the time we're getting confused at why things happen in our lives, and we're confused at how to change them because we try to make things too complex. And then when they're too complex, it's hard to continue that habit going. So what we want to do is we want to minimize the complexity and really create that life that you want. You have the ability to have the best life that you want. This just comes down to simple actions that you take on a daily basis. What habits do you have going on right now? What routines do you have? What is your lifestyle? If someone were to look at your life right now from the outside looking in, what would they say about your life? Would they say that you were habitually growing every day? That you didn't let the past ruin your future or your now? Or would they say, man, that person gets overwhelmed very quickly? That person has so much negative in their life that they can't move past it. Now, we don't want to live like that. We want to have a life where we are powered and move forward with how we want to live our lives. But you have to have a plan. You have to simply do it. Now, it all starts with a thought. Everything in your head, everything in your life, everything moving forward, everything begins with a thought. Now, the way you control those thoughts and the way you control your life is to have positive thinking. Now, before I leave the slide, don't ask why October 3rd is on there. I know this is an earlier podcast, but it was a good photo and I wanted to use it. So here's the content we're going to cover today. Where your thoughts go, your energy will follow. And this is a review from September 13th podcast. And then September 16th podcast was how to eliminate your negative thinking. And we'll just do a quick review on that today too. And then today we're going to dive into simple actions. And there's, 5 or 6 things that you can do that you can just work on your mindset daily. And that's what it's all about. It's all about working on it daily. Not concerned about life, not concerned about moving forward and just what's happening tomorrow or what happened in the past, just today. What can you do today to create that life that you want tomorrow? So a quick introduction here. Simplicity is the key. When you're thinking about changing your mindset or challenging your negative thinking, don't make it complex. Don't make it so crazy that you get overwhelmed trying to simplify your life, right? You want to make sure that you really go after what you want. You really have a plan, but you have a plan so easy that you could explain it to like a 5-year-old child and they would know how to simplify their life. And that's what it's all about. Just having fun again, being simple and really enjoying the life that you want. So part 1, where your thoughts go, your energy will flow. Right? The way you think about things and the way it goes is how your life is going to go. Thoughts control everything in your life. They control your emotions. They control your actions. The way you want your life to go, it all begins with a thought. Now, however your life is going, it's because of a thought that you've had. And negative thoughts will take you down that rabbit hole and they'll tell you that you're not good enough, that you're not able to become who you want to be. Because your thoughts will overpower your life. Now, what is that barrier between your thoughts and your actions? There's always something stopping us from getting us from where we are today to who we want to be in your future. But what's stopping you? You have to figure that out. And the best way to do that is to begin to knock down those walls. Begin to knock down those barriers. Write them down. Write down what is stopping you, why it's stopping you, and find the facts behind the thoughts. Because the thoughts that you have are not factual. Some are, but most of them aren't. Most of them are things that you're just thinking could be true or that aren't true, and they're not going to move you into that place that you want to. And then finally, focusing your thoughts to align your energy. How do you want to be energized? What do you want to be energized about? And when you can focus your thoughts on those energy points, on being happy, on being joyful, on not, well, we're going to take out not, because when we focus on nots happen. So on being abundant in your life, being grateful in your life, these are things that you want to focus on and align with, and they'll create that energy you're looking for. Now, see, 3 simple things to force your energy in times that you don't want to. How many times in the morning, let's say, do you not want to get up and tackle your day? I know there's days that I have that I really don't want to. But when you force yourself, it shows you that you've done it before, and then you can do it. When you get through those tough times, when you get through those situations that you really don't want to be in anymore, that's when you'll be able to tackle your life. So here are 3 simple things to force you to have those energies. Put on music and dance. Now, I'm not saying go in the street and do it, because I know how much trouble we have dancing in public. Well, some of us. But make sure that you just dance. Just get up and have a good mood. And that's what it's all about. If that's not for you, that's fine. Then slow down. Meditate to eliminate mind chatter for a bit. Now, I always say to, go on YouTube, Google or whatever, and just find something that's a guided meditation if you're beginning your meditation journey. Because this will really speak to you, and this will allow you to really understand what meditation's all about. It guides you down a path. Now, don't go, okay, it's the first time I'm meditating, I'm going to hammer out an hour. Don't do that, because halfway through, even probably within the first few minutes, you will be tired, overwhelmed, frustrated that you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do this for an hour. I'd say when you're starting out, do anywhere between 3 and 7 minutes. Just try it for size, see if you like it. You might not even like it. And then if it's not for you, well, then you go and do an exercise. Whatever your exercise you want to be. Some people do yoga. Some people go to the gym. I personally love going to the gym and just hammer out the weights. Some people go hit a boxing ring. Some people do Muay Thai. Whatever it is that you want to do, go for a walk. That's another one, a hike. My wife loves to hike. So to get her mind clear, she goes for hikes. Find whatever simple thing that you can do to force yourself to doing what you don't want to. Now, part 2 is how to eliminate your negative thinking. Now, I dove deep into this. And, the first stage in everything, in every part of your growth, is to know that it is possible, to have that belief inside of you. Because if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. You're not going to do the effort that's necessary to make it possible. So first, work on your belief. And say to yourself, I know that I can eliminate this negative thought. I know that I can eliminate this negative thought. And just tell yourself that. I talk a lot about telling yourself what you would tell your best friend. If your best friend came to you and went, oh, man, I'm having trouble thinking about this situation, I can't get it out of my head, what would you tell them? Hey, let's go out for a walk and let's talk about something else. Or, well, what are your facts that you have about that situation? Write them down and really see what's actually true and what's not. Treat yourself like you would treat your best friend. Because that is the way you're going to grow. That is who you're going to treat better than anyone else. Now, focus on one thought at a time. They say that we have somewhere between 3 and 10,000 thoughts an hour. That's a lot of thoughts. So if you can chunk it down and just focus on 1 or 2, focus on that main one that's bothering you. And then you can really analyze it and say, okay, is this thought true or is it false? And I can guarantee you that most of the time it's false. It's a limiting belief thought. And until you learn to get past that limiting belief thought, you're not going to be able to move your life into that next level. And 3, understand it's a journey, not a destination. Don't think that, you know what, tomorrow I'm not going to have any negative thoughts. Good luck, right? This is a lifelong journey. Enjoy it. Don't be stressed every time you have a negative thought come into your head. Be excited about it and say, okay, look, this is a challenge that's now come into my life. How am I going to face it? How am I going to move myself into that next level and get to the other side? Enjoy the journey. So here's 7 steps that I put in my podcast. I talked about them, of how to get past your negative thinking. Speak to the negative thought. I talked about that. Get around positive people. Who are the people that are influencing your life? Who are the people that you hang around with the most? That is who you're going to be also. If you're hanging around a whole bunch of negative people, in my last profession when I was a correctional officer, you go through a lot of negative times in there, and negatively comes out. Unless you actually work on it, it's hard to overcome that. And I hung around a lot of negative people within there. And it's not that they're bad people. I love them all. It's just that the negative situations and the negative environment that you're in, you bring that home. So unless you actively get around positive people, it's very hard to change that. And that's what I had to do. I had to separate myself. I had to find a different group of people. I know that there are some people in there that actually never hung out with coworkers outside of work. And that was probably one of the best things I ever heard, because it forces you to hang around with other people. So find that group of positive people that can really uplift you and make you into the person you want to be. Now, don't expect everything to be perfect. Life isn't perfect, right? So you need to find that balance between imperfection and perfection, and live it. Live it to the fullest and know, you know what, this situation happened. My life's not perfect. I'm okay with that. And move forward from there. Know that you're never going to fully eliminate that negative thinking from your mind. It'll be there, but as long as it's in the background and not in the foreground, you'll be able to move forward. And develop a morning routine. Do you have something that you can do in the morning? Now I'm going through, on a side note here, I'm going through the 110 ways to cope with stress. And one of them in there was to plan your next morning the night before. So when you're planning your next day, know that you're going to do it. The first thing you do when you get up. I know when I get up in the morning, I have a morning routine. If it gets kind of changed, that's okay, because don't expect everything to be perfect, right? So I get up and I do my devotional, I do a journal, a gratitude journal, and then I usually hit the gym right after that. Now that's my morning routine. And if it comes out of whack, that's okay. But that's the things I really try to focus on every morning. So I've been doing this for I think it's been a few months now, and it feels really good every time to get up and I have that plan. I don't have to think about it. Yes, I have to dive deep into my journaling or my devotionals, but I really deep dive into what I'm learning opposed to actually doing the actions. Become intentional. Same thing, right? When you get up, be intentional on what you're going after in your life. Now, tap into the root problem. When we have a negative thought come into our head, there's a reason why. And you want to slow down. A lot of people sometimes have a journal that they carry with them throughout their day. Use your phone. Whenever you have a negative thought that's really sticking in your head and that's frustrating you, tap into it. Go, okay, I'm going to write this down in my phone or in my journal. And when I get a moment, I'm going to sit down and really deep dive into why this thought's coming into my head. And then when you tap into that root problem, you'll be able to deal with it. And know that you have a conscious choice. The thoughts that coming into your head are subconsciously coming into your head. You can consciously say, you know what? I am not going to believe that thought, and I'm going to move forward with my day. That is your choice. That's also your responsibility. You are responsible for how you want to live your life. So continue to know that you have a conscious choice of everything that comes into your life, even if it's just your thought. Part 3, simple actions to work your mindset daily. Now this is where you're going to move into that positive frame. Now these are simple things that you can do every single day to work your mindset. So make personal growth daily activity or habit. What do you do every single day that's going to grow your mind, that's going to grow your life, that's going to help you become who you want to be? Do you have a personal growth habit, or do you just kind of coast through your life? Figure that out. Even if it's journaling, doing a gratitude journal, going for a walk in the morning, calling someone up and just talking to them about positive things that are going on in their life, in your life, in the world. I know that's hard to find, but there's always positive things to find, right? Always find the positive through all situations. What situations are you going through in your life where you feel like it's all negative, all going downhill? I find that a lot of people going through a divorce think it's a huge negative situation, and maybe it is. But when you can look back on why you've gotten to that point, you'll see the pattern. And you know what? I've been through a divorce, and divorces are tough. But on the other end, it's been, I think going on like 15 years that I've been divorced, and I am happier now than I was when I was married to my ex. And you know what? You got to get to the other side of that root problem, right? You have to find that positive situation. And sometimes you won't find it right away, right? Sometimes it takes years to actually find the positive, and that's fine. It's a journey, right? It's not a destination. Another thing that you can do is count your wins every day. We always look back on our day and go, I didn't get this done, or I didn't hit that deadline, or I'm so frustrated that the person looked at me like that or said that thing to me. But we don't focus on the things that we actually accomplished, right? Yeah, you didn't hit that deadline on that one thing, but what about that other situation that you were successful at? What about that positive conversation that you had with that other person? These are the things that people don't look at because they're too focused on the negativity. So every day, I write down 5 wins every single day, and sometimes it takes me to look back. When I first started doing this, I actually put in my phone a little note that would be wins. So whenever I had a win, I'd write down it right away, so that at the end of the day, I could look back on my day and go, oh yeah, I had that win, right? I had that win. And you know what? It makes it a lot easier. And then, you can really reflect. Now know that every day is a fresh start. We tend to kind of put each day on top of each other, and it really stacks on your life. But when you can see every morning as something fresh, right? Look at the sunset and sunrise. The sun sets on your past and the sun rises on something fresh. Just visualize that every single day and know that what happened yesterday is over. It can't be changed. And what happens today is a gift. So cherish it and utilize every single moment that you have today. Don't worry about what happened. There's nothing you can do about it. Today is that day that you get to create your life and have that life moving forward. And belief is your responsibility. I say that all the time. When you believe that you can actually make it through whatever you're going through, or you believe that you can find the positivity, or you believe that you have lots of wins in your day, your life is going to change. Belief is your responsibility. Now I'm going to finish off with this one quote, and it's by Steve Maraboli. Those with a grateful mindset tend to see the message in the mess. And even though life may spelling error, may knock them down, the grateful find reasons, if even small ones, to get up. What are your reasons to get up after this frustrating situation that you've been through? When you can find those reasons, it'll push you through every situation that you have in your future. Now, I hope this kind of contributed to whatever you need to do. And I hope this helped you get through your week, or helps you get through your week next week. Don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. Check out my podcast. I'll put a link below. And next week, Mondays and Thursdays at 8 a.m., my podcasts come out, and then my YouTubes come out on Saturdays at 8 a.m. too. Now, I really want to stick this really regular for you so that you can really grow and learn that your life is your responsibility and you can be in control of that. So thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to inspiring you next week.